ugh, popularized. Say the words.
Popularized. You said it right. Popularized.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What up? What up? What up? How's everybody doing? This is the Daily Dick Show with Aya and Decory. Obviously, me. Um, we're gonna have a guest on, surprise guest, and today our topic is double standards. Oof.
Hey D, hey everyone. Welcome to number 10, um, 10th episode of Daily Dick Show. And this is our last episode for season 1. Don't you worry, we're gonna come back stronger with season 2 and a few updates, and you'll see it later on. So as Dee mentioned, we're going to talk about double standards today, which I know you were looking forward to
Yes, yes,
very
yes.
much. So then let's jump right onto it. And, besides subscribe, hit notification button, we are on RSS, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, follow us. On Instagram as well. We would like to hear more about your opinion on our show below in the comment section, or you just hit us DMs or whatever. Anyway, so since you D wanted to talk about double standards that much, what are those like double standards? What is the meaning for double standards?
The meaning of double standards to me is basically like, damn, it's kind of you put me on the spot right now. So like a man can do something, but a woman can't. Um, let's say like a man sleeps around with a lot of women, but if a woman does that, she's considered a hoe. Stuff like
Right.
that. That's a double standard.
Well, but
There's
that's like an example, like any particular definition.
uh,
Like can you be
I'm gonna paraphrase it. So basically, it's a double standard arises when two or more people, groups, organizations, circumstances, or events are treated differently, even though they should be treated the same way.
ta-ta? Here you go. So, as I said, hypocrite.
Hypocrites. Yep.
Yeah. Well, I think our society is full of those.
Yeah.
Because like in my perspective, at some point I changed my perspective on dividing world and people into good or bad, where everything is kind of pretty much according to the situation, because you'll never know.
Mhm.
And yeah, but I think hypocrisy is very bad, because why would like someone allowed to do something where some other person would not? And like, what's the difference then? So
Exa-
I mean, we all see it like daily, with like gender, like men, women. We can see it in racist, homophobic ways as well, which is
mhm.
very fucked up. And I would like to talk today, as we mentioned before, to talk about more on those double standards, like the most popular ones, that are not even like changing anyhow.
Mhm.
And maybe like, because I have like 10 of them. I don't
Mhm.
know how many you do have, but I also attach each one of those to like life experience or examples, so you guys could understand it more, because we don't even see it that often unless it happens to us personally, and you just like, why, you know?
Mhm.
So you want to go first, or I'll go first, or we go one by
You
one
okay? You go first though.
with all 10?
Yeah,
Okay.
because I gotta come up with my 10.
Okay, I have a whole list here.
Oh, well, you
I
can give
came
me 10.
prepared.
Yeah, I dig it.
Um, okay, number one, women
Mhm.
get less paid than men.
That's a true thing. That's a
That
true
is the
thing.
truth. Why though?
Um, I think because the world revolves around men, and when men was able to work, they kind of just think of it like, okay, a woman probably can't do the best job that I can do, so we're gonna just pay her less. She could do the more thing, but she has to prove herself. That's how I look at it, which is kind of fucked up. It
Yeah.
shouldn't be that way.
I mean, if we talk in terms of like, okay, I don't know, have a lifting construction work, maybe yeah. physical wise, yes, we are different. Like
Hmm.
generally, like I'm not talking about athletes, obviously,
Hmm.
but brain is pretty much the same. And yeah, it's just like it's weird because I don't usually don't get it. Like, or people like it's like double standards for jobs in general, where you have tattoos, right? Like on your, because you have tattoo here and here, right, on your hands. I have on my fingers. And no one will hire you. That what I heard from my parents. With the tattoos, no one will hire you. But like, how does my tattoos on my body, on my skin, reflect on my brain?
Hmm.
That makes zero sense.
Yeah.
Presentable wise, yes, but then again, you can cover it, like you can do whatever. And then why other people would even like think about that, your quality of work, like your position basically, is somehow lower than your brain ability. It's not like people who have tattoos are brain damaged or something.
Yeah, yeah, and you know what? I think like in Japan they have it a way where people with tattoos they kind of consider you to be in the yakuza, the gang or whatever. So
Yes,
I get
but
it
those
there.
are, let me specify, those are particular pictures on your body. It's not just like regular, like, carpe diem shit. It doesn't mean you're in a gang.
Hmm.
It means you don't have like tears falling out of your eyes if I'm 13. So
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that you're in any mafia or gang related groups, I would say.
Hmm.
But anyways, yeah, I face it every day. And like, well, my paycheck obviously is not as high as it would be. And also like diversity of where I'm from is also going there. So it
Hmm.
like affects my paycheck, I would say. But
Hmm.
you know I would say it is what it is, but it's fucked up.
Hmm.
Where that leads us to the other, I think you would definitely bring up, where guys should pay for everything.
Hmm.
But then again, if we're looking like specifically in like some situations where most of the time men do get more paid,
Hmm.
not for everything, but like, provider kind of shit. But I'll leave it to you to elaborate on that. I have second one where, my favorite, where I'm advocating for that a lot, where women having multiple partners, sex partners, or been with a lot of guys or men, women, whatever, are slut shamed, where man is a macho and everything. And for you guys who are listening to it, don't you even get started with me with that key log bullshit, where good key and like and love. Forget it. It's not like 50s anymore. It's not even 90s anymore. Like we live in 21st century. It's 2021, for fuck's sake. And it's our bodies. We are willing to do whatever. So I've been slut shamed so many times before I even had started having sex. So that is very fucked up. Yet it's like also that like it's not even double standard. It's just like a culture of slut shaming, where we do have strip clubs, right? We do have um, hookers service. We do have porn. We do have webcams and many, many, many other things where women are being over sexualized, right? And like performing or service, sex wise. And they're being like, I go to strip clubs, but I don't want my daughter to be a stripper.
Yeah.
Then why do you go to
Yeah.
strip clubs? You know, because there's a need for you to go there, apparently, but you wouldn't want that for your kid.
Hmm.
So this is where it doesn't meet logic. It calls hypocrisy for me personally.
Yeah, and it's just that's how it's been, because like a lot of that stuff, like the web, like you're saying, webcams and all this stuff, are just women in general. It was always taught you need to be with one man. If you're not with one man, you're like a scarlet or a whore and all that. So I think it's just ingrained in history that way. Like
Yet
men
no
can
one
do what they
said,
want. Yeah,
yeah, no one says
like
if that the only one beats the shit out
mhm.
of you, that he's probably not the one.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So it's very tricky for sure.
yeah,
Very
it
tricky.
is. It is. And like I was saying, like, you know, it's just been like that over centuries. Like, oh, the men can do what they want, and women have to, live by these certain set of rules. You know, and then when they live by these rules, we're gonna bend them anyway and make it over sexualize y'all.
Yeah. But like those are standards that make zero sense, especially now. Maybe back in the day, obviously they were created like, it's like religion. I do respect the religion like as a whole grail,
Mm-hmm.
but I do not appreciate what society turns into, like church turns in it to be.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they're just like using this tool to make for them the benefit, basically. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yeah.
So that been 3, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, 2. That been
Oh,
2.
yeah, that was
Okay.
2. That was 2. That's 2. That's only 2. Yeah.
Okay. 3 is where successful and determined, straightforward, goal-oriented woman is being called bossy in a
Mm-hmm.
bad way. Do you know where I even faced that that if I am being demanding, I'm
Mm-hmm.
being not demanding but hysterical.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard it since like childhood and since my school age, that if teacher is very strict and she's a woman, she probably should get laid or she's on her period.
Yeah, I heard that plenty of times.
Right?
I can't even say that I never said that before. Said that before, and just me being young and dumb, not even really paying attention to what I was saying. I really said that like, oh man, maybe she needs this. That's why she acting like that. You know?
But definitely, like okay, that sounds weird. But I did that as well. Guilty as charged. Because this is how your mind were approached. You heard
Mm-hmm.
it from someone else and you thought it's fine until
Yeah,
you grew the fuck up and realized, like, hey, actually not.
yeah, because like you could say that about a man too. It's a double standard right there. Just trying to throw that on a woman because maybe they're just strict. That's just how they are.
I've never heard that to men. Give me an example.
No, I'm saying you can't say it to a man, but
Ah,
or
okay.
like you can't. It'd be some dudes who be like you like. I remember just hearing my dad and like other people just say like, oh, this person's uptight. Maybe they need some, they need to just have sex with a woman or something like that. Maybe you feel better, shit like that.
Yeah, but it's like not get laid, but like, just blow some steam, right? That's the
Yeah.
word.
Yes, blow some steam. Yes.
Yeah. But then, yeah, again, and then like, oh, poor thing, he needs to blow some steam. And oh, that bitch,
Mm-hmm.
probably in her period, she needs to get laid. Like, okay, getting laid not gonna fix all your problems. Let's
It's
start
not.
there.
It's not.
And personally, for me, sometimes I'm in my calmest way of me being myself when I'm on my period. And yet, ladies and gentlemen, ladies know what I'm talking about. We can do everything you can do bleeding.
True.
That is pussy power. For me personally, like that is like there's nothing we cannot do. Sports, everything. It depends on like each woman, obviously, personally, but most of the time we can do as much as you can do.
Y'all
So
can
we
do
don't have a week off.
everything. Yeah,
So
y'all can do everything we can do. I'm gonna be honest. Like it's just like you can't say, "Oh, you can't." Is there no such word in "can't" should never be in your vocabulary because a woman can do everything a man can do, pretty much.
thank you. Thank you.
Except for
Amen. Hallelujah.
obviously it's different.
No, I mean we're talking about living
Yeah,
wise, I can still fix the
yeah,
sink.
living wise. Living wise.
Yeah, I can fix the sink. I can, I don't know, paint the walls. I can, if I need to, I can carry a table. I just don't need
Yeah,
to. That's the only
yeah,
thing,
yeah. If you needed to, yeah.
Yeah, I
So
mean, we need to like, that as you have a really good point about that it has been there for centuries. And now we have all the power in the world to start with ourselves. I'm not saying like preach it to everyone. Start from
mhm.
yourself. That, okay, I don't want to be treated like that, so I'm not going to treat that person the same way. I think the biggest change, it starts within here. And this is where we start to change. And we have all the power to change. It's a
Yeah,
choice. either follow those double standards that were created back in the day for people already dead for centuries as well, like, like just live in this like very close-minded world, or go
Yeah.
beyond and understand, especially like with all the technologies that we have now. Everything is possible. I mean, look around yourself. I mean, that's ridiculous if you still have that mindset and don't even feel the need to change that.
Hmm.
I mean, it's just like, it's just sad.
It is. And like,
There's no progress then in humanity. So yeah.
yeah, I think, I just think this newer generation is more acceptable to,
Yeah.
are more accepting of women, doing everything a man can do, you know?
Yeah, I hope so. But there's still like so many things. Uh, I'm gonna like step out because I just thought about this double standard. Well, it's not double standard; it's frowned upon, where women get shamed. But I think it's more to the shaming part. Okay, whatever. I'm not gonna talk about it. It's for later. Okay. Then number 4. Yes. Okay. Another double standard for women is you have to get married before you're 30.
Yeah, it's not a double standard for women in general, but it's for men too. That one, I can say that's an interchangeable one for men too.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah,
But I
because
think men have like still 5 years more, like by 35.
even no, but even then, it's like it's still putting a rush on what you should do. It shouldn't
Like
be
start
like,
family.
yeah, like you don't have to start a family if you don't want to. Not at this
But
time.
then why we both get pushed into that?
It's because it's the old way of thinking. But they do push it more on women, but they push it on men too. Like, oh, why don't you have a wife? Why don't you have
Mm,
kids? That's a double standard that can be interchangeable. That can be interchangeable.
mm. Yeah, fair enough. But I will disagree on having children because because your clock is ticking. Oh my
Oh yeah,
goodness. That
yeah,
is the most ridiculous thing ever.
that one's on y'all.
And I was like, but okay, you being pushed, okay, you have a family, you have kids, right? But women, uh, let's say, give up a little bit more in a marriage. Let's say it's like another double standard is that you have to take last name of your husband. It's still like, why don't you? Not
I don't
like
know.
very critical, but like, why don't you?
Yeah, I don't think that's like a double standard per
But men
se.
just don't do it.
What, they don't take women's last name?
Not that often. And they not pressure into it. Well, if you taking her last name, like, are you pussy or something?
No, I think it's just the way you look at it. Like some people from like different cultures, American
Mm,
culture, the woman's supposed to take the last name, and I think
yeah.
like in Spain culture, they keep both of their names and don't like, I don't know, they add another one or something like that.
Yeah, but like
Um,
even like the idea of pressure is like, why do you even care? It's my business.
yeah, if I was to get married and I would take my girlfriend's name or whatever, or my wife at the time name, that would be cool. Like I would do it. Like that shit, I got two last names, that'd be dope.
Yeah.
That'd be dope. I wouldn't mind it. I
But
mean,
let's even look into that the bureaucracy way. If I would say not gonna take my husband's like last name, yet our
mhm.
kid will have his last name, so I'm like not a part of the family, you know?
That's how you hyphenate it. You have both of them.
Well, yeah, but still, the baby will not have double unless we decide so. Because usually it like gets like I
Yeah, I
have my
mean,
dad's last name, like obviously not my mom's. So
mhm.
I mean that's just interesting. Like
Yeah,
not even
I
like
think
in
that
terms
is
of like
cool.
double standards, but double standards that go into bureaucracy, like that actually makes your heart like living harder than it should be because of this little
Yeah,
name change. And then women has to go through all the documents to change it. Because it's not like they're just like, okay, change, good. You have to go to places and it's take time and it's just annoying.
yeah,
I mean, marriage certificate should be enough, like here. Why would I change my name? I like my name. So,
yeah.
oh well. Yeah, so and going back to like children as well, because not only women have to give up last name, but she gives up her body to create another life, carry it, and give birth.
True. True.
Like it's flying out. So, it's more pressure. And especially a lot of women are not ready to have children. And
No,
when
not
they're
at all.
pushed, I know a lot of women, well, not that like, I don't know a lot of women, but I know a few
Mhm.
that kind of regretting having children right now. Not because they don't love them, they just don't want to spend time with them. They don't want to, they don't want to invest in their children mentally wise. Obviously, like they support them financially a lot, but they were not ready. They were pushed by parents, by society to have kids earlier because that's what's supposed to happen after, I don't know, half a year of marriage.
Mhm.
And then they stuck when the baby is like 5. They're just like, oh, cool. So there's no point because women were not ready because your clock is ticking. So, and now, like having kids doesn't mean that will make you happier or happy.
Mhm.
So it just doesn't make much sense for me. Like you have kids when you're ready, when you both of you
Yeah.
are ready.
Yeah.
You're
That's why I
happy,
said
la
it.
la la. You don't have kids to, I don't know, save the marriage. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
So
No. Because then
mm.
that could still it won't save kids. Marriage.
Okay, that been 4, 5, 6. Number 7 is like oh yeah, that my favorite. Let me. Cleavage is very popularized, yet breastfeeding is something frowned upon.
That one's stupid. Like I don't understand. Like if you want to look at some titties all day, like people be like, "Oh, I want to see titties," and that cleavage. But then when you out here feeding your baby, what's the difference? Like, what's the problem? But the thing is, you shouldn't be looking at that either because a woman's feeding her baby. Like, you shouldn't be a
And a
pervert
woman
about it.
doesn't show her. She shows her breast, not the nipple, because obviously nipple is in the baby's mouth. So
Yeah,
how
and
is
if she,
that? It's not like she's like opening her vagina as well. Like take it off panties, take it off bra. Okay, let me feed my baby. It's not like that. And
yeah,
it's not disgusting. It's nature, literally nature.
yeah, and the way I look at it is like that shouldn't be frowned upon. Like, especially breastfeeding your baby. Like you're feeding your baby. I know a lot of women usually use like what's that,
Covers,
like
yeah.
a blanket, yeah,
Blankets, covers.
that's fine too.
I
But
don't find like I mean, it scares a little bit me personally because how does baby breathe? Because it's like same air. So
you gotta look at you getting too deep into it because they like cover babies' faces with like the blankets when they're in the strollers and stuff. So you getting too deep in it. But now I would say that that's becoming less of a thing because they do have like breastfeeding rooms in certain companies and
nice.
everything like that
Yeah.
too, which is
Well, I
cool.
don't think I would be very much open myself, to like feed my baby like, in the public place just because again, it's frowned upon and I don't feel very comfortable to do that. So there's like breastfeeding rooms and like special places are really nice. But
Mhm.
again, if a woman make a choice to feed her baby, because if she wouldn't feed it, well, the baby, it will cry and you will be annoyed. So, there's like, it's like close circle.
Yeah.
So weird. Okay, next one is my favorite one. Like I don't know when like my those like double standards are mostly about like babies and getting married, but it just like more because otherwise it's not like other terms are like more like shaming
Hmm.
in general, but like in terms of double standards, I think this one is good. Like good fathers are praised as holy gods, where women are kind of there doing the same job and even more, have this like image of ultimate caregivers, for free and with no day offs and whatsoever. Does it make sense?
You saying the women are just looked at as ultimate caregivers?
So yeah, let's say I have a baby, right? And daddy spends a day with the baby I'm like, I don't know, I'm doing whatever, I'm resting, especially like with the small, not even toddlers, like small babies. And then, oh my God, like you're such a good father, you spent the entire day. But then I was taking care of the baby for a week and no one said like, oh, you're such a good mother, or like, good for you. How are you not going crazy?
I think, but okay, so yeah, that's back in the day. But I think the reason why it's so big with men because you don't really see men doing it. It's one of those things like you always see the mom with taking care of the kids, especially in like certain communities, like the black community. You always see the mom doing everything. She's
Why?
both because the dad leaves. You know that I mean, I really can't say
I'm
that, but
sorry. Well, it's not always the case. Like in
yeah,
last
it's not
time
always the
you're
case. But
saying,
I
yeah.
think I think it's more a fact that the old school values, the man should be the working, and the woman should be taking care of kids. Which now it's switching where everybody's taking care of the kids. It's a group effort. The woman and the man,
But
and
still, men get more like, oh my God, like he did something. I don't know.
because some of these men like they could be in like split relationships where they're not together but they're taking care of the kids on their own, and they're trying to be the best they can be. And like I said, you really don't see men put in that much effort with their kids all the time like you see a woman do. Like I see women like what woman was it? I think it's this guy, football player. His last name is Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson. His mom would be outside playing. Like she played both. She'd be playing dad and the mom. She'd be outside practicing with him, hitting him in the football pass. Like that. That's the mom that I like. She was active and doing her thing. As both roles.
Mhm.
Um, but like I said, like for men, you don't really see it that much. It's not publicized that there are some good dads out there. Um, and women, we know you guys are the rock of the family. We know you guys take care of everything.
But yeah, but again, like we don't get that praise and like praisals enough, like
I think you
praising
guys do.
us.
I can't agree with you on this. I think women get the most praise for taking care of their kids.
No.
I think so. I think so. Like,
Like let's stop there. If you give your mom praise, it doesn't mean everyone do the same.
obviously, yeah. Obviously, if you give your mom praise, it doesn't mean everybody does the same. But if a lot of women, especially like single mothers, I give them all the praise in the world.
I agree, but then still, it's kind of like women has to do this because it's their baby and daddy's just like, cool, I'll help. I don't know. It's just maybe it's changing. Maybe this is why you don't particularly agree with this one. So that's
Yeah.
good. Definitely good. Okay. Um okay, enough with like mom stuff. Shaving.
Shaving.
Women expect it to be shaved. Body hair like is disgusting. For the past like couple years, it's being promoting more that my body hair is my body hair. Like fuck off. But still,
Mhm.
you know, it's not frowned
I think
upon
it's
or
one of the,
anything, but
but
like it's expected. And even I'm not gonna
I
I'm
don't
not
think
gonna
it's
lie. In
men.
my perspective, when I see hairy as men legs on women, I was like, for me, just like personal hygiene, nothing more. But then again, if I don't like it, I don't look at it. I don't give a shit. I'm minding my own business. Like if person does that, fine, whatever, you know. But then,
Yeah.
yeah.
So my thing is with that, I don't think that was pushed on by men to do that. I think women was the first people who started. Like, why
What
are you?
you mean?
No, no, but okay, I'm gonna say women probably started that, but then men hopped on the train and made it worse.
No, hell no.
I think so. I think so.
No, no,
Because you
no,
gotta think about it, like, oh, I need to be clean shaved. A lot of women like, girl,
no.
I do this. I know y'all talk. I don't know what y'all talk about, but I know y'all talk. Y'all in the
No,
bathroom
no, no,
doing
no.
shit.
It's been that long that even I think like, oh, I'm just doing personal hygiene. But like, no, it's been there. I'm just like, I started doing it and now it's uncomfortable. I'm very like happy for women who grow their like armpit hair and like feel good with that. I just don't feel good with it. But then again, I don't know, was it me who thought about it or the whole centuries society that pushed me into it? Well, like it's not really like century, but like more or less. But
Mhm.
then um what about the pussy ass bleaching? That would push by porn. It's all like pink and nice. It's not like that for every person in their life. And why would I bleach my ass? I don't look at it. I cannot look at it. So
I
that was pushed by porn culture for sure. What?
I don't
It
even
is
know what
out
this.
there. It is a big
I,
thing in states as well.
I mean, I never heard anything like that. I mean,
Never.
I heard of it in the Kanye West song, but at the same time, I nobody talks about that. So like, I don't
Exactly.
know.
Exactly.
I don't.
Nobody talks about it, but then men have this idea of porn again. To women look certain way, do certain things.
Well, you got okay. So I would put that on like women want. Those are like directions of like movies. Even in movies, they want you to look a certain way. I think that's all
Yeah.
movies, which I wouldn't really call that a double standard. I would say it's more of one of these things where you expect the woman to do this. It's not really a double standard. You just
Why?
expect it.
Why? I
Because
don't
like
expect you to shave your legs.
what no, I get that. I get that, but it's just been ingrained in our head over like, oh, a woman should be like this. And then like you gotta think about it since like I guess the shaving stuff got popular, it's been pushed from there, you know? Because I look at it like I was doing some research on like ancient Egypt. That was normal for them because they would get a lot of ticks and all that, or not ticks, but lice. They would shave everything, you
Yeah,
know.
obviously, but like
That was for like
again,
a
they
health.
were doing because of lice, not because men, liked it shaved, waxed. How many men out there prefer waxed pussy over bushy one, and vice versa?
I don't know.
Exactly. So like, why do you even prefer? That's my body hair. That's natural. Like, I mean, nature put it there for a reason, right?
Yeah.
All the body hair is there for a reason.
But look at it like this. So if you if you were like at a beach right now and you seen a girl with some like hairy man legs, you would say something.
I would not say. I mentioned with you before. I would be like, because for me, like, I wouldn't like to touch it on myself, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
like it annoys me. Because I used to do it. I've been, I'm 29. I've been doing it since I was like 15,
yeah,
right? So, um, I wouldn't mind. Like, I wouldn't like it on myself, but if a person makes a choice, it's her choice. Like, I'm gonna turn. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna be, looking at it like liking it or not. I'm just gonna, okay, I notice it. Oh, I don't know how she does it because I couldn't like bear to have, because it's uncomfortable for me personally, And then I was like, okay, cool, and I would turn away. I'm not gonna shame her, tell her like, ew, gross, look at her. No, what's the point?
yeah.
There's zero point in that. It's like, there's like a very good meme where like two like planet shows, and like it's double, it's two same pictures of a planet Earth, and it says, Earth before and after your opinion.
Yeah,
It
it's the
will
same.
not change anything, so why would I even bother to express my energy on that?
True,
As
true.
I said, drink your water, mind your own business, and move on. That's it. Okay, I'm gonna go to the last one because I'm talking too much again. Pull the finger, I'm gonna talk. Okay,
It's
last
okay.
one, a very sad one, but I think it should be outspoken out there. Double standard on rape victims.
Oh yeah.
Why rape victim is being shamed instead of the rapist. I will never understand that. Why the fuck is going on? And that is for me beyond my mind and capability of understanding. I
And
swear.
that this one is crazy. Like I remember the guy, the swimmer guy, he raped that girl in the trap behind the trash can or something like that. And he was like, well, she was laid out and she wanted it. Like, no, that's this should never be a double standard at all. Because I was reading a story, I think like a year, two ago, about in Spain, where there's a 13-year-old girl, I think she's 13 or 15, where like seven men raped her, and they kind of blamed the girl for being there and drunk and passed out. And the guys, they didn't even really get hard charges. They was like, oh well, she, because she was combative, she kind of because she was combative, they laced the sentence on them. They was like, well, she was combative, so she was fighting back. But I'm like, she was getting raped. She's a young girl. So I don't agree with nothing. There's no such thing as a double standard when it comes to rape victims. Like if they
No,
got raped,
there
like
is like, though, like there is like,
no, I get what you're saying. There is, but what I'm saying, my hardline stance is
of
if
course.
this person is telling the truth and they literally got raped, you should never blame the victim. You should never blame the victim.
Yeah, it's everyone is playing the victim. You said like, oh, she was asking for it, she was there drunk, she la 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 la.
No, those should not
That
be.
doesn't change the fact.
Like
Okay,
I could be.
the maximum they have is like, oh, okay, you'll be like, go to jail if that happens.
Yeah,
But the rape victim still,
yeah,
even if the rapist get what he deserves, the rape victim still is going to be, first of all, traumatized, and second of all, it is frowned upon and shameful to talk about it, that it happened to a person. Like, it happened to me. I'm victims like ashamed to say that out loud because
Yeah.
they feel that it's their fault, which is
Yeah, and I get that because society pushed it on them, like, oh, maybe if you wasn't wearing this dress, or maybe if you wasn't drunk and passed out at a party, but it shouldn't be like that. I don't care if you drunk, pass out at a party, sleep in your own bed. If somebody trying to come rape you and they rape you, you are a victim and you should not be blamed for it.
yeah.
That's my hardline stance on it.
That is for me is like the most terrifying and ridiculous double standard ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll go into that, like the ridiculous one, because there are really ridiculous ones, but later on. I want to hear yours. Your
You
double
know,
standards as a man.
I don't really have 10, but
No, just go with what you have, because I came prepared. This is why I had, because I've been thinking about it for quite some time.
yeah.
So you go ahead.
Um, I think a double standard that's pushed on men by society is that you're supposed to have all your life together by a certain age.
Right.
Yeah, you, because it doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are, you can have your life together or you don't. You know, it will come to what somebody standard of together is different from somebody else. You know, like another one is like another one of mine is a man should be, you know, paying for everything in a relationship. I don't think that's a good one because if you choose to pay for everything in a relationship, cool. But I don't think somebody should just expect you to pay for every single thing in a relationship unless you want to or you understand what's going on with that person's financial situation.
Yeah, but like if we're talking like in a relationship, let's say marriage, it's like the rest of your life.
Yeah, you shouldn't be paying for things
Long
the rest of your life.
term to pay for everything. So
Yeah,
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 you know, I
I
said it
agree
to be a
with that. Yeah.
50-50 thing. And that's that. A lot of women, you know, they do look for people who want to pay for everything, and I applaud them for doing that, and I applaud the men who like to do it. But I don't think that should be a thing, especially in a long term relationship too.
Of course. Yeah, I
Especially
totally agree with you.
like especially if you guys both have jobs and just the man is paying for everything. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's for sure. Because like I, I would, for me personally, um, I would feel very, I don't know, what's the word even for that? Uh, what's the word for that?
Like
I would feel
huh?
ashamed. Seriously,
Oh,
like,
shame.
because I like,
I mean, so like
how
I
is
said,
that like I have work and I cannot afford stuff and he's paying for everything, you know? So I would
yeah,
feel
yeah,
like
yeah.
a little bit depend on, like I'm depending on
No,
someone for.
I get that. You got to look at it like this. If your like financial situation isn't that great,
No, we're
we
talking
understand.
about both people are having good jobs and bringing income.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's crazy. Yeah,
We're
that's
not talking
crazy.
about like, oh, that could happen, obviously. As we
Mhm.
talked before, like if a woman having a baby, yes, she deserves to have like, that time off, which is from work, but she's still working with a baby nonstop, right? So we're not taking those situations into consideration where we talk about, okay, I have a job, you have a job, but we're going to spend your money.
Yeah, fuck that. No.
So yeah.
Another one I have is like men shouldn't be, you know, they shouldn't show their emotions. They shouldn't be emotional. That's a big one. Like society's like, oh, if you show your emotions, you're a weak person, which is not true.
And
You
that
know.
is also fucked up because it leads to so many, mental disorders, anger.
Yeah, mentally broken men, and then we get crazy, and then you're like, "Oh, men are crazy." But it's the thing that society push on. If you can't show your emotions or tell somebody how you feel without somebody looking at you as weak,
Yeah.
it puts us in a box. It puts us in a box, and
Hmm.
that's a fucked up one.
Yeah. I don't like when people do that. Especially like, um, I feel if you have emotions, because we all have emotions, unless, you're some kind of sociopath, uh, it's fine. Not like, it doesn't mean like you have to cry, if you cry every day, that's also okay. If you cry every day, you have to see help, because obviously like
Yeah,
if I'd be crying every day, and I've been crying every day for like a couple months back in the day, but I was depressed, so I went and changed it, right? But if we're talking about showing emotions when it's hard day, you come home, or even watching a movie, I don't know, it brings you like some thoughts, some emotions, and you want to cry outside, like why not?
yeah. And because it's always taught you need to be strong. You need to be strong. Yeah, it's cool to be strong, but
But
you do
you
have.
can be strong and cry. Like it doesn't make sense either. How is that you crying make you weak?
That's what
I
I'm
think it's
saying.
very like for men especially if they cry, it's another certain level of strength
Yeah,
where
showing your
men
emotions is another certain
showing
level.
their emotion, they like, hey, the fuck, it's fine, it's okay.
Hmm.
And I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, because like if we sit here and be stone cold all the time, it's gonna be like, oh, you don't have any emotions when we really do, but we're scared to to
And
say
then
them out
women,
because society would look at us like, fuck, this dude's weak.
yet women, you have to be man. I know there's women, but you have to be romantic, you have to be thoughtful. So like you can have all the emotions, but the bad ones, like where you cry. So
Yeah, it's
where is the logic line here?
yeah, like I said, it's a fucked up thing. That's why I think mental health for men is like a big thing. If you can't get your emotions off, somebody don't understand that you have emotions. You don't need to be you don't need to be like talking to those people because you do have emotions and you do need to express them. Um, which you shouldn't be afraid to express those emotions either as a man. Just do it. Just do it.
Yes. Yes, please. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I can see how my dad, for instance, is changing,
Mhm.
because he was very tough, like not even showing it. He was just like, all to himself.
Yeah,
And then when his mom passed away, I was like, you know what? Cry the fuck out. Like, just let those emotions out because it's your last parent. Like, because grandpa died a long time ago. So, like, and like, fuck whatever they think. Just do it. Like, if you feel like it, do it. And I think it was like very important for me to say it to him. I was like, fuck everybody else. Just do what you feel like because it's not like, oh, I had a bad day.
hmm,
It's like very traumatic and deep, sad feeling emotion. And, it's not going to last like 2 hours or so.
yeah,
So, it's important, like, also, like, to let your man in your life know from female side that it is okay, you still like men enough, you still strong, good, caring, la la la. It doesn't make you weak. And I think
yeah,
the more we're going to talk about it, the more we're going to give that men around us freedom to express themselves and not to be angry, to talk with us about stuff, about bad day,
yeah,
about, anything, the anxiety, because men go through anxiety daily, but
yeah.
they are also not allowed to show that.
Because like I said, they look at you as a sign of weakness, which is
Yes.
not. And I think therapy and all that is healthy for men too.
Yes.
I mean, that's pretty much my double standards. I really can't think of any more. I feel like it's not too many double standards push on men, but I know there are.
Another, I
And
think we're gonna talk about more life experiences in a bit because we do what? We do have guests,
yes,
as you mentioned before, and I think more will come up from there.
yeah,
And I suggest you tune in to our part 2,
ghost.
the last episode of season 1 of Daily Dick Show, and stay tuned. And they were pushed to it because your tick. Why your tick is clocking?
Your clock is ticking.
because